Welcome everybody at the webinar about scripting in FEM-Design. My name is Mieszko Stemkin. I am a student assistant at Strusoft DK, and today I will be supported by my colleague Paul Belog, who is a software developer responsible for FEM-Design. He will be answering your questions during today's webinar. In the webinar panel, located at the right side of your screen, there is a questions field. So please feel free to ask your questions there, both during the presentation and at the end. There will be also time only for your questions. I will start with a small agenda. So first of all, I will tell you something what is exactly scripting feature and what can be achieved by using scripting in FEM-Design. Then I will briefly explain how to do it, what it is necessary to do it, and how the whole procedures look like. And then finally it will be followed by one example with two different input models. I really hope that after this webinar you will know more about scripting, and those of you who already have tried scripting in FEM-Design, I hope it will clarify all of your doubts. If you haven't tried, I hope it will be a good introduction and good start to use scripting in FEM-Design. So first of all, why we think it's useful to use scripting? It's especially useful for someone who would like to run a lot of simulations. For example, in the conceptual phase of the design, when you want to try different configurations of the structure, you can model them, and instead of running one by one and waiting for each simulation, you can write them into the script, and all of them will be run one by one. So then, while they are running, you can do something else, or you can, for example, run them over the night. So actually, it saves your time. It makes your work more efficient. And yes, this process, we call it automated workflow. So that's the main purpose of scripting. And then what do you need to use it? What is necessary? So first of all, you need to create a 3D model with applied loads and supports. Then if you would like to generate also a separated file with documentation or CSV tables, then you should beforehand create a documentation template and table template with DST and BST extensions. And then when all of it is done, you just adjust your script. I will show you how to do it. For that purpose, for example, I'm using Notepad++ to edit the script. But of course, you can use any other text editor like Atom or WordPad, whatever is easier for you. And here you can see the structure, or in this figure you can see how it works. So what is the input to the script and what is the output? So as I already mentioned, you need input files, but also in the script you can adjust your simulations. So you can set the settings. You can choose what kind of simulation you want to perform, or individually choose the settings for each simulations. You can use exactly the same options as in the FEM-Design software window. And then again, templates if you would like to generate them. So finally, here you can see a simple procedure. I don't know if all of you are familiar and have a strong background with FEM-Design. So for those of you who have, it might be too detailed, but I think some of you might find it useful. So as I already mentioned, you start with creating a model with applied supports and loads, then documentation templates, and finally you adjust the script. And those 10 points at the bottom of your screen with corresponding lines are lines that need to be adapted, or when you can edit it for your purpose according to your needs. And I really recommend you to visit our wiki website. I will share with you the link, which you can see here at the top of your screen. There, if you find the section Run Script, there is a detailed procedure and instruction how to do it. But for this webinar, I will go step by step with you and explain every step and every line that needs to be adapted. So first, you start with setting the location of the log file. The log file, actually there will be included all the information, warnings, or errors that might occur during your simulation. So instead of this one, you just choose your own location and you give a name to this file with the same extension as it is here, so log. And then the next step, you choose the location for your input file. It can be both str and struxml extension. So you choose the location of your desired file, and then you continue exactly the same as in the FEM-Design interface. So for example, here I think it's a nice example. On the left side, you see part of the script file, while on the right side there is a window from FEM-Design interface. So all the types of analysis, they are in the same order. The only difference is instead of clicking into a checkbox, you just type 1 or 0 if you want to perform there or not. And it's exactly the same with the other settings. For example, here at the end of the left side, you see peak smoothing equals 1, and on the right side, also in the bottom part, you see just clicked peak smoothing. So this is how you choose the type of your calculation and all the settings, as it is shown here by 1 or 0. And then another example, when you want to change the settings of eigenfrequencies calculation, you can see on the left side, when num shapes equals to 2, it's exactly the same as you would type 2 in the number of shapes in the FEM-Design window. So it's really intuitive. It's really easy to figure out which line corresponds to which setting in FEM-Design interface. I think you shouldn't have any problems with that part. Then afterwards, this part is responsible for RC design and steel design. Here, instead of typing 1 or 0, you have to write true or false if you want to perform it or not. Here at the right side, there is a small screenshot from the FEM-Design interface, which you do the same. Just auto-design all structural elements or check all structural elements. Again, I think it's quite easy to figure out, and it's intuitive. The next part. Here, this part is responsible for documentation output or table output, like CSV files. As you can see here, in this box, there is a BST file. Here, you need to paste the location of your input template. So, as I already mentioned, it should be prepared before. And then to out file, you choose the location of the output file, so the output CSV file. And it is exactly the same with the documentation in doc extension, so let's say in Word. First, you choose the template location here, and then in the line 169, you choose the location for the output. One important thing, I will show you that in the real example, if you, for example, don't want to, to generate a documentation, you still need to do something with this line. So you can, for example, delete it or comment it. I will show you that how to comment it because otherwise, if you run your script and it will find a path for the location which doesn't exist, it will stop there. So that is quite a common problem. I will show you how to solve that. And then at the end, you choose the location for your output file with str extension. So there will be the file with all results will be saved there with a given name. And afterwards, here where you see the line saying about possibility of loading another file, you can copy paste the lines from above and adjust it for another input file. This is also quite important, that you cannot write all of the files at the beginning, but you write the input file, all the settings, and then you do the same with another file. It will be also presented in my example, so don't worry about it. So let's move to the example. I think it will be more interesting. So first of all, where you can find this example script. If you go to your documents, Strusoft folder, FEM-Design 18 templates, there is a file called example.fdscript. This is the one that you need to edit. So this is the one which is shown here at the left side of my screen, and at the right side there is already adjusted script for the purpose of my example. So what we need for today, here I have, this is my script file. I have two input files with the geometry, loads, and supports, and I have two different templates with for the CSV file and for the documentation in doc extension. So now I will show you what was actually edited in this file. First thing, it is the location of the log file. Again, you can find there all the information, warnings about your simulations. If something went wrong, you can easily figure out what was wrong looking into the log file. Then the next step is to choose the location of your input file. So you just copy paste the location and name of your input file, and then this part is responsible for the type of your calculations and their settings. So this one I just left as default without any changes. The same with the RC design module and steel design module. Another important part is here. So first of all, the templates for tables and the location of the output file, and exactly the same with documentation output. So here maybe I will show you how to comment this line. For example, we don't want to generate another doc file with documentation, so you can just comment it, and it will be not generated. Then of course you have to save the script. The next part here, I call it example1 results. So this is the file where all the results will be saved. And here below the line that I already mentioned, there is a place for another file. So exactly the same procedure, you just copy paste. Here instead of example1, there's example2. All settings are the same as before, just different template files. So let's try to run it. For that, you just open your FEM-Design, you go into Tools section and Run Script, and then you look for your script. And as I told you, everything is done without any other action. So all the simulations run with no interaction. All the simulations should take around 2 minutes. So in the meanwhile, I would like to show you the wiki. So here at the left side, you can find Run Script with all the procedure. So I really recommend you to check it. If you have any problems, it can easily help you. And the other thing that I would like to mention is that this feature is not the last thing that we want to present regarding scripting or coding. There are two other features that will be published this year. The first one is called optimization using Python script. I think it's very interesting and very useful. It will be something that can help you optimize your problems. We will provide you 2 examples. And one of them will be, for example, a concrete slab with a number of point supports. And using this script by Python, you can find the optimal position of each point support and the number of those supports. So of course, with some given constraints, the script will automatically look the best solution, which I really hope it's really useful. And the other one is API wrapper. For some of you who are more familiar with this topic, probably you know more about it. But it's in simple words, you will be able to create a model without opening a model section in FEM-Design. So again, you will be provided with some examples when we will show you how to create, for example, a beam, a slab, how to choose its dimensions and its location. So I think it's really useful. Yes, now we can see that our simulations are done. So let's look into the example file. So now we can see that it generated 2 CSV files, 1 doc file, because the other one was commented, a log file, and 2 results files. So, for example, we can of course open it to see if everything went good. This one was one of them was very simple to save some computational time. The other one was just a building, as you see here. So if you want to check the results, let's say the steel bar utilization. You can see that all the calculations went good, and we have all the results here. The same with the documentation. The documentation is ready here, as well as this is the other file. Again, everything went good, and if we open the Word file, also the documentation is generated. So of course this was a simple example when you don't save that much time, but when you run like 10 different models with more simulations, more calculation options, of course it's a bit time consuming, and it can really help you. You can really do more other things, or you can run it over the night and save a lot of time. So another thing that I would like to mention today, I will also provide you a link for our website. There is one article saying how it started. So what was actually the reason why we started working with scripting, and there it was actually in cooperation with TTU, Technical University of Denmark, and there is also a link to the full article when you can read more about it if you are interested. And one more thing for those of you who haven't installed FEM-Design yet but would like to, on our website there is also an orange button at the right side when you can ask for a trial license or for an offer. And yes, that was all what I wanted to tell you about the scripting feature. Of course, feel free to ask questions. I will leave you some time for that. I hope you really enjoyed this webinar as much as I did, and I really encourage you to ask questions. How to access the scripting file? Okay, sure. Yes, of course I can. I think I can share all the files from this webinar, and now I will show you how to find the access to the script file. So if you go to your documents and then to Strusoft folder, then you choose FEM-Design 19, for example, templates, and here there is an example, a script. So all of you who have installed version 17 or 18 should easily find it there. Yes, answering those questions, there is already, if you have installed version 17 or 18, there is already an example script that you can edit and use it. It is located in Documents and Strusoft FEM-Design templates. I hope you are all able to find it. And it looks like this. So on the left side, there is this example script, which you need to just edit. So you don't need to write all of this by you. I hope this answered your question. For if it is possible to run 10 scripts, I hope here Pal will help me. I'm sure that it is possible to copy paste and run 10 different input files with the same settings. And I don't really know how to make a loop, but I'm sure that Pal will answer this question. Yes, you will receive the links for our website and the article. I can share with you by chat. Just give me a minute. And also this recording from this webinar will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, so you can watch it there and see it again. So here you can find, I just shared with you the link for wiki website, and here there is a link to the other websites when you can read more about the scripting in FEM-Design and when you can get a license from. So we will still wait around 5 to 10 minutes to answer all of your questions. If I will be able to answer some of them, of course I will try. If not, please wait for the answer from Pal. If we will be not able to answer all of them, we will provide the answers by a separate email together with a link to the YouTube video. The Python optimization feature is coming this year. I cannot say exactly the date, but I can promise that it's planned for this year. And we're really looking forward to that, because I think it can really it's something special and unique, which not all the software includes. So maybe at the end I will show just one more thing for those of you who are not so familiar with documentation model. For example, how to save a template for documentation. So first of all, when you have a file with already presented results and you want to add something for the documentation and then save it as a template, you just go here, save as, and here you save your template documentation. And then if you want to do the same with CSV file, you go here, you click what you want to save for your template. And then it can be saved, let's say, load cases. And then you have all the files, all the templates saved, and you can use them again in the script. Okay, I can see that there are no more questions. Please correct me if I am wrong. And therefore, if there are no more questions and all of the questions were answered, I want to thank you very much for your attention and for attending this webinar. I hope that all of you will have a great afternoon and will enjoy working with scripting in FEM-Design. And I really enjoyed performing this webinar. And please visit also our website and YouTube channel to see more webinars and to try more features. Thank you very much for today, and goodbye.